we shall never know peace. At least when it comes to the WNBA space. It was this ad that Angel put out, and I don't...
The drama surrounding Angel Reese's desperate attempt to hijack the WNBA All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis has become one of the most embarrassing cell phones in recent league history. What was supposed to be her moment, a triumphant rollout of her signature Reebok shoe, a billboard-stamped marketing blitz, and a declaration that she had arrived as a force of her own, quickly collapsed into a public relations disaster of epic proportions. Because here's the truth. You can't fake star power. You can't stand in someone else's spotlight and pretend it's yours. And Angel Reese just learned that the hard way. The entire spectacle began with a bold, almost laughably arrogant marketing campaign titled, "I'm in your city." Reebok and Reese plastered Indianapolis with billboards, digital ads, and flashy slogans that read more like a hostile takeover than a celebration.
I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places, but because of where the WNBA All-Star Game is...
It was a move calculated to provoke, to shake up the narrative, to plant Reese's flag in Caitlin Clark's home turf, and it might have worked. If Clark had actually been playing, but with Caitlin sidelined due to a groin injury, the queen wasn't in her castle, and Reese's entire house of cards came tumbling down. Reese strutted into the All-Star Weekend, expecting red carpets, cameras, and headlines. What she got was cold shoulders, empty seats, and a flood of online backlash. She thought that dropping her new shoe, the Angel Reese one, during the biggest weekend of the WNBA calendar on Clark's home court would guarantee attention, and it did, just not the kind she wanted. The release came in two colorways, Diamond Dust and Me Bounds, each aggressively marketed as the next big thing in women's basketball footwear.
And because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA.
But let's be real. Excitement doesn't come from product launches. It comes from people caring. And people didn't care. It's not because the shoe was bad. Not because Reese isn't talented. Because her entire strategy relied on someone else's. Gravity. Caitlin Clark wasn't just the draw. And without her, Reese was exposed. Not as a villain. Not even as a competitor. Just as a shadow. The brilliance of the plan, according to Reebok, is that it would ride the momentum of Clark's All-Star Game appearance, but Clark didn't play. And that one missing variable blew the whole thing up. Ratings for the 2025 All-Star Game plummeted by 36%. In 2024, with Caitlin Clark on the floor, the game pulled in a record-shattering 3.44 million viewers. This year, just 2.19 million, and mind you, that's in Clark's own city. It's the same place Reese thought she could claim as her own. The drop wasn't just noticeable, it was seismic.
Clearly, debut. It's got to be when she plays Caitlin Clark. So they obviously ended up debuting at All-Star Weekend.
Ticket prices fell nearly 50%, from $121 to just $64 after the news broke that Clark wouldn't be suiting up. That's not just disappointing, it's catastrophic. And yet Reese proceeded with her takeover campaign like nothing had changed. She posted Instagram reels with captions like "Walk in your trap," "Take over your trap," and leaned into an aesthetic that felt more combative than celebratory. But no one was buying it literally or figuratively. To make matters worse, fans and commentators alike lit up social media with brutal assessments of her performance and strategy. Comments flooded in mocking her for trying to take over a city while its queen was on the bench. Others slammed her for attempting to profit off Clark's absence, suggesting she was only relevant because she keeps bringing up
Because Caitlin didn't play when they were in Chicago, and Caitlin didn't play. Or Caitlin's not playing in this game, so they're debuting at All-Star Weekend.
And Clark. One viral post even compared her campaign to someone celebrating a forfeit as if it were a fair fight. Even the shoe rollout itself was a dud. Despite Reebok going all in on the production value, it couldn't mask the lack of public enthusiasm. The buzz wasn't there. Not on the streets. It's not on social media. Not in the press. It became clear that Reese had made one critical miscalculation. She thought proximity to greatness was the same as possessing it. And then came the ultimate irony. Inside Reebok's own promotional documentary Power Moves, Shaquille O'Neal, one of the faces of the brand, was caught on camera saying that Reese needed to be head-to-toe in Reebok gear, specifically when facing Caitlin Clark. Translation? Her value spikes only when Clark is in the picture. A brutal truth, because even her own endorsers understood. Reese's brand doesn't thrive in isolation. It leeches attention when standing next to someone who actually commands it.
Plan was to literally go and use Caitlin Clark for the launch of it.
By the time the weekend wrapped, Reese tried to spin the narrative. She posted a tone-deaf message online. This was the most fun I've had in a while because of the players. The word players in all caps felt like a veiled jab at the fans who didn't show up, at the city that didn't care, and at the league that didn't revolve around her the way she hoped it would. But instead of empowerment, it just sounded bitter. And the numbers? They didn't lie. Clark's absence wasn't just a missed moment. It exposed the true pecking order of the league. When the three-point contest and skills challenge events Clark wasn't even in still pulled 1.32 million viewers, it was a clear indicator. The interest still revolved around her. The aftershock of her popularity was bigger than anyone else's. Main event. And here's where the comparison becomes devastating. Caitlin Clark signed a Nike deal reportedly worth $28 million over 8 years. Her first shoe, a Kobe 5 Protro drop, sold out in under 60 seconds. Resale prices surged past $600 for a shoe that retailed for $190.
It's one of those things where it's like it's very clear that one side is absolutely trying to milk.
That's not marketing. That's demand. That's fan loyalty. It's real star power. Meanwhile, Angel Reese was reportedly trying to market a shoe for $1,000. $1,000 for a debut sneaker. It's not just any sneaker one. That had no organic hype, no memorable moment attached, and no fan base rallying behind it. That's not bold. That's delusional. You don't get to call yourself the face of a league just because you put your name on a product. You earn it by making people care, by showing up every game, by delivering in big moments, by being someone fans can believe in. Caitlin Clark didn't build her empire through stunts. She did it with consistency, humility, and undeniable greatness. Reese's mistake was thinking she could skip the journey and just arrive at the destination.
Look, whatever rivalry there is, it is one side trying to do.
That fans would rally around her because she planted a flag, not because she earned their respect. That she could claim territory that was never hers to begin with, simply because she said so. But this weekend made something very clear. The WNBA doesn't have multiple queens. It has one. When she's not on the court, the whole house feels empty. A 36% drop in ratings wasn't just a stat, it was a message. A message to the league, to the brands, and to every player trying to ride coattails instead of walking their own path. The Caitlin Clark effect isn't a fluke. It's not marketing magic. It's not hype. It's the result of years of earned trust, emotional connection, and jaw-dropping performances. That's the kind of foundation that no billboard can replicate and no marketing campaign can fake. Angel Reese may still have time to carve her own lane, but she's going to have to start from the ground up, not by chasing Clark's shadow.
Everything they can to keep it together, because that is where they're going to be at their most relevant.
Not by trying to outshine someone who isn't even on the court, but by actually earning her place. Because if this All-Star Weekend proved anything, it's this. You can't manufacture love. You can't buy loyalty. You sure as hell can't take over a city that was never yours to begin with. Comment down below, baby goat over baby giraffe. If you're still riding with Caitlin Clark, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss what's next in the WNBA's unfolding saga. See you in the next one.